All right, so I'm going to tell you about one of my dating experiences. I've had a lot of interesting experiences dating online throughout the years. All right, and I'm some of my friends they would call me the king of internet dating. I've seen it. I've like evolved with it. All right, I started. This story is from like 2010. All right, back then you had MySpace. I used Black Planet pretty heavy. I used Craigslist. Okay, yeah, Craigslist personals. A lot of people slept on Craigslist, and I'm not talking about paying women on Craigslist. I mean just using Craigslist personals. There's a lot of action on there. And what a lot of people, another thing people slept on was the phone chat line. The phone chat line. All right. See, I explore the road less traveled. You see, so nobody wanted to mess with the phone chat line. I don't know if y'all remember, like back in the day, it'd be 12 o'clock at night, and that commercial come online. Hey, are you lonely? Huh? Well, why don't you just call the chat line? Yeah, there are plenty of single ladies. Look, I was like, all right, cool. I'll call. I called the chat line, and it was right. It was a lot of single ladies. Now, what I'll say about the chat line is it's like choosing the mystery door. Okay, so when you on MySpace, Black Planet, these other sites, you get to see the person's picture. You know what you're getting usually. The chat line, not so much. All right, back in 2010, not everybody had a camera phone, so they would describe themselves. I mean, that's about So and everybody usually people give a good description, but you don't know what you're really getting. So this woman, she described herself, short, dark skin. I look good. Come check me out. And she was only 5 minutes away from my house at most. Like it was close. I was living in Riverdale at the time in Georgia. So I drive over to her house, and like I said, I knocked on that mystery door, just waiting to see what was gonna happen when she opened it. And yo, she was everything that she said and more. 4 foot 11, about 125 pounds of just legs, ass, titties, nice face. And like I said, I like short, petite women. She wasn't petite, but she was thick, no stomach, and she opened it. She had a robe on, but like I could tell she had nothing under it. Like we didn't really discuss sex or anything like that. I was just flirting with her on online. Came to see her, so I came. I gave her a hug. I'm feeling on her, kissing her neck. I'm like, yo, this is about to go down. Okay. And then I look in the room, I look in the living room, and I see her son, her little 4-year-old son is just sitting there. He just looking at me. But, and I'm good with kids, but there was something a little different about him. And she told me, she's like, yeah, this is my son. He has microcephaly. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what microcephaly is, it's a disorder where the child, they literally look like, and I'm not being funny, he looked like a little monkey. Okay, he had a because the brain is underdeveloped, so he had a really small head with big ears, just like a monkey, and he was wearing a diaper. He was 4 years old, and his body was small. It was different. It was different. So I'm like, okay, cool. It is what it is. So she's like, listen, why don't we go to my room to watch TV? I'll leave him. As a matter of fact, she told him to go to his room, and she brought me to her room to watch TV. You know what that is. So I'm laying down next to her, and I'm telling her all the things that I don't tell anybody else. Like, yeah, girl, you special. You the type I would have kids with. I like you. Blah blah blah. We kissing. I open the robe. I mean, you know what happened. We start getting into it. I get a couple of strokes into it. Next thing I know, the door opens up. Her son, his head just poking up. He just looking at me. So she gets up, yells at him, tells him, "Yeah, go back in your room. Go back in there." So she comes up. We keep on doing what we doing. Next thing I know, door opens again. So this time, I don't know why she had this bright idea, and I don't know if they didn't have locks, but the doors didn't lock. So she tells him to stay in her room while we go in his room. So we went in his room and start fucking while he stayed in her room. I didn't care. She could have told me to go in the kitchen, the bathroom, the pantry. I was going wherever she told me to go so I can keep doing what I was doing. So now we're in his room. We're getting it in, like I said, I'm telling her all the things that I don't tell anybody else. Like, oh, this better than I ain't never felt it like this, girl. Ooh, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I hear a crash. Boom! In the living room. So she hops up, runs out there. This boy, he left her room. He went into the living room and through the TV. I don't know if he tried to climb up the motherfucker, but he pushed the TV or pulled it off of the TV stand. And this is back when everybody still had big box TVs. So he took this big box TV and slams it on the floor. So at this point, she ain't yelling no more. She beats his ass. I ain't getting involved. I'm just like, damn, hurry up. Get it over with. But at this point, the whole vibe is off. He done threw the TV down. She beating him. He's screaming. So, I put my clothes on. I ain't want to just up and leave. So I sat in a room with her for a little while, sitting next to her. We were at the foot of her bed watching TV and talking, and I'm asking her questions about her past and, what are your goals and, all that stuff. And then her son comes in the room again. And, I never know what to expect when he's around at this point. So he comes and he walks up and sits down right there at my feet. So I'm sitting on the bed, but he sits on the floor right at my foot. And I'm like, all right, what am I supposed to do? He just I don't know. Am I supposed to pet this motherfucker? Like, what does he want? So, I go to kind of try to give him a pat on the head or something. And he tries to bite my hand. He opens his mouth. So I'm like, yo, all right, it's time to go. Hey, it was nice meeting you. Can't wait to see you again. And that was it. That's really the story. I really wish I stayed in touch with her, but I didn't see her again. You know what? She did ask me for money a few days later. I'm like, man, you should have asked me for that before we did it. Yeah, I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. So anyway, yeah, that's one of many stories. So yeah, I guess I will see y'all for story time next time. All right, peace.